Extra noses pounces on you, ooh, you're so warm. Couldn't help but notice your bones from across the floor. Noses your Nicky like detail gamer till day, hee hee.
What is Ashley's
What a time to come back. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Art of Lore show. We're actually doing a show this week.
It's a miracle.
84 years.
Yay! Oh, I just got a thing. Oh, I just got a thing from Twitch. They just messaged me. Your stream anniversary is coming up in 2 weeks.
Jesus.
Oh, goddamn, Cicero. Thank you for subscribing.
Cheerio with the sub. Hello.
Oh,
And
God.
did
What is
anybody
this?
catch the sub video?
I heard Ash was the one who made this.
Ash has made something for all of you, and I'm actually glad that Bao's here because I want to show this to you guys. If Ash gives me the permission, I can actually throw the video up and play it full screen for the most part.
Oh my god, the Emperor's very overdated. Cicero or Ash?
Yeah, Ash hit with the bob earlier, which none of you guys heard, so we have to play some catch up. So here y'all go.
Right. Extreme noses punches on you. Ooh, you're so warm. Couldn't help but notice your balls from across the floor. Noses your Nicky Wakey till they Matilda. Hee hee.
All right, let me go to the paint scene.
Anyways, after
And Ash
dying
does
in
give
the-
permission.
Ash gives permission? Okay, well, and now I gotta be a chipmunk. But before I'm a chipmunk, I'm gonna say something real quick here. I got something new going on. Now, do it right. Not chipmunk voice. I gotta make an announcement first, and then we could do chipmunk, no problem. Announcement first, so everybody can hear me and the other guys can hear me. Is I'm wearing a Art of Lore shirt. Believe it or not, it's like yay! We officially have like a little merch store thing going on. There's not a lot on there. There's a few things on there, but if you guys want to help support, help us buy some paint and more models and Bob his books, that's where it goes. And then it also goes back towards the show if you do some giveaways and stuff and everything. So we have a little store now. If you decide you want a little Tech Priest sticker, foil sticker, you want an Art of Lore mug with our little banner on there. I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know how I talked people into it, but it worked. And now we got a little store going on. If you have free shipping to the EU, I'm taking it. Yeah, I highly doubt that. Do a twirl. Sorry, all you get is the Theron art brush picture. I have a couple different things on there. If there's something you want, like, hey, like I like this emote you guys have. Why can't I get this on a shirt? It's because I haven't made it. I have to manually make everything. And I've only made like 5 things. I was going to let the people, decide on which way we should go, whether this way or that way, so on and so forth.
We do have the Mrs. Magos working on a few other things, so hopefully one day that will be done.
We're hoping maybe get a few more emotes out. I have reached out to a couple of people that I know who do stuff like that, and I said, why not try this or that? And then, like, it's funny, too, because then, like, after that, Ash sends this amazing video he made, and if he's okay with it, I want to pull full screen and show it off, which I believe he said he was.
Well, yeah.
And I'm glad Bao's here, because Bao, you make a guest appearance.
Oh god, I'm concerned. I'm concerned.
I'm concerned
All right,
myself.
let's see this.
All right, I'm going to throw it up there. Let's see here. I love stickers. Jeez. Okay, now let's see if I do it right. Okay, here we go. So, are you all ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
No, but go ahead.
So, oh my god, so pink.
I'm scared. I'm concerned. Oh. Oh, I hate that. I love the art. I hate the fact you made it. The other one. Thank you.
No. No.
And sometimes Bao is there.
Oh, that actually hurt. I felt something inside me died.
That was
Oh,
so
God.
good. I'm
Ash?
so happy for that.
Ash, I'm gonna say this only once, and you'll never hear me again. I forgive the British.
I don't.
Well, thank you, Ash, for that. That
Right.
was great.
Extra
Oh,
noses, punches on you. Ooh, you're so warm. Couldn't help but
Oh
notice
my
your bones
God.
from across the floor. Noses
I
are
need a
nicky,
minute to
wacky,
lie
till
down
baby, till
after
they hee hee.
Fuck.
Right. Extra noses, punches on you. Ooh, you're so warm. Couldn't help but notice your bones from across the
Oh,
floor.
so good.
Noses are nicky, wacky, till baby, till they hee hee.
if one wasn't enough, you got two.
Okay, it's time for you to become Chipmunk.
I am going chipmunk now. Yes, yes. I just got over the button.
Alright, I am officially Chipmunk. We are going to get into the meat of the show now. I'm so happy to see everybody's here. We're back. We get to the show again. Now we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. I'm going to keep working on Bob's Take, which I'm finally going to be painting more into blue and white today. I'll be painting out some metallics finally, getting that going. But until then, I'm going to let Bob, Alan, and them take over. It's actually funny. We have all of like the actual crew of the saga today, except for one person. But hey, maybe they'll happen. Who knows? But anyways, go ahead, take it away, Bob. If you can understand anything I'm saying.
Did anybody understand any of that?
Not at all, but I heard. Okay, Bob, take it away.
Your
Also,
words.
we will be saying one thing. I'm pretty sure right now we are going to not be accepting Faction Hate Time because this episode might be a 3-parter, and we're trying to
No,
fit it all in as much as possible.
I've already sliced off 200 words. Don't you worry, I'll keep this to at most a
But I'm
two-parter.
just saying we'll probably if any of Faction Hate Time pops up, I will be refunding it.
Now, how does it feel when the Emperor's Space Marine penetrates your ears with sonic weapons? You know what?
All you hear is just that going through
Yes.
the gun.
That's all I fucking hear. Wow. But today we will be talking about the myth, the meme, the legend of the show. A character that somehow started off as a complete, absolute fucking joke. I don't know how, but actually has developed into somewhat of a actually well-built character. I don't know how. I don't know how we stumbled upon this, but we did.
Anybody know what a vibrator sounds like in Chipmunk voice?
Oh yeah, you've done it before.
It's not working! But I fixed it.
Mixing that white paint, aren't you? Today we are speaking of,
It's white.
from Inquisitorial Rejects, one of our characters today, Leroy motherfucking Jenkins, the Corporal. Nicknames including the Unkillable Moron, the Brain Damaged Commando, and the Galleon Cockroach. Because the boy just won't stay fucking dead. How did this character come to be, you might ask? Well, it started all off with a simple meme. I mean, one night when I was miserable working in a Happy's Pizza, I heard a Kyle speak these words.
We're gonna wait for that to go. We're gonna get the old harvester. Gonna hook it up to the good old Jebediah, the good old donkey there. Go on and get that harvester going. And all of a sudden, this man in a goddamn spaceship come and put a goddamn laser gun in my hand. I'm out here shooting gigantic spiders the size of goddamn cattle. Whoa, shit! Oh, no! Yeah, I can see how you'd go nuts.
You're the sugar! And thus,
Apparently that killed Bob at work.
I literally buckled over laughing so fucking hard I couldn't keep doing my damn job. Thus, an idea of Farmer Jenkins was born. Jebediah was born as well, as we mentioned in a few episodes of the show. Thus began our Saturday night shenanigans in Wrath and Glory. Leroy, the farmer, the moron farmer, who had exactly
Did it all
zero-
start because we were trying to go around, make up characters, and we're like, someone needs to make Leroy just for the fucking shits and giggles. And then
And
Bob made it and ran with it.
I didn't just fucking run with it. I went to marathon with it.
Yeah, so basically that Wrath and Glory that we do the Crucible Rejects on every other Sunday, well, we used to, so we took a month off. That, we also play that every other Saturday over here at my place with everybody, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So, originally this was exactly as it sounds, a 2D character that had no depth whatsoever. By the time we started playing Wrath and Glory, though, me and Alan worked together at a Walmart auto repair shop. And we both got called in to do a double that day. I don't care if Adam's listening. Adam, get back to work, you lazy fuck. Anyway.
Oh, fuck you, Adam.
Damn.
Our boss.
Okay, please not.
He's an asshole.
Anyway. We literally didn't have a car for 12 fucking hours. Not a thing to do. Me and Alan knocked out maybe the little bit of stacking there was in the first 35 minutes.
And we cleaned the shop.
And we cleaned the fucking shop. So for about 11 fucking hours, we basically sat there and came up with the backstory of this crack-headed guardsman that feels like a fever dream even mentioning it.
You also forget something. We didn't just come up with the backstory. We came up with a squad.
Yes, because we all realized a guardsman does not just simply survive alone. He must have his magtag meme squad of memesters. From and I quote to you, hang on, let me bring it up. A Nocturnian or a Promethean cult-believing sergeant or corporal who believes in fire as the medicine for everything.
From Nocturne.
A squat or a ratling who can't shoot straight to save his life but can wire a good bomb. A angry Australian woman who has a penchant for making armor her bitch. An angry giant ogren.
No, not angry giant. A giant ogre who's always hungry.
And a perpetually lost child and 3 drunk Russians. And a psyker.
And a psyker.
And a psyker.
Oh, you forgot about one thing. A blender.
Oh, and a blender.
A blender, yes.
This was not originally the scrap. This was Schmitty. And boy, do we have tales to tell. This whole shit then spawned, and I shit you not, 12 in-depth backstories, a 116 rule page set, its own designated unit, specialization, and what everybody was good at and what taught each other. Out of 12 hours of doing nothing.
Fair to us also. A little bit of it was also, hey, this happened throughout when we first created. This happened. What about this?
Yeah, when this eventually happen next?
Yeah, well,
And-
we're all playing ping video games or something.
Yeah, like a crackheads in the wind.
Yeah,
We developed this character's original backstory, and I dare say, it was funny.
And after 8th hour thirsty more, I started to find Alan attractive. Bob, 2K 24. Oh my god! I know he's going for it first, and then I saw that part. I'm like, oh no.
Oh Jesus!
I'm like, what's he talking about? I'm like, oh god. That's the wrong kind of fanfic right there.
Please stop.
We're too fat for fanfic.
Oh God, I have
One
choked
will
that down.
fucking die if they continue this imagery.
If you make fanfic, make it of the Asian boy.
No, make it the chibi anime characters.
Yeah, the art of uwu. There you go.
Please don't. I don't need this on my conscience.
You're starting something that I feel like you're gonna regret.
Oh God, say no more! Oh no!
Oh no, Ash!
I
Oh
regret
god.
everything. I regret everything.
What rabbit hole have we fallen and tripped and delved down into?
We didn't
we
check down
found
nothing.
the Brazil pit.
We didn't check down fucking nothing. A goddamn tricky British man kicked us down a hole, and we're falling uncontrollably.
To Brazil.
But back on topic, because otherwise this is not going to get healed up. We then eventually had to refine this meme, turn it into an actual fucking character with something along the lines of death, besides "Get off me fucking lawn!" Thus began the tale of Saturday Night, or our good old inquisitorial rejects Leroy. A bit of a sad character, with a bit of fun. So we begin with the spawn, well, with the blood of Jenkins. He never knew his father and mother's name. He simply called them sperm donor and broken oven in their 60s. His eldest sister, Bilda, was a bit of a, how do I say this? An asshole. In her 30s, is way before the events of our main story begin for Leroy. She was in her 30s. A ganger, occasional gun runner, or a bounty hunter for hire, who would so slowly as surely sell you out for a Kit Kat bar as she would try to say that your life is valuable to her, than to only sell you out for an IO stick. His brother, Ego, also a gang enforcer, and quote Leroy, I do believe he was a cultist of some sort. Whether he believed in a four-legged or a four-armed emperor or a four jackasses, I don't know. All I know is he was not good. He was 24 at the time of the events that would start Leroy's life. Leroy, having grown up to this shit family, was the bitch who had to watch out for himself, shoveling shit, scavenging whatever he could, along with his little sister, Ariette, who was only 15 at the beginning of Leroy's adventures. Before anything else happened, she was his little shadow. And everywhere time Leroy would go out scavenging in the Underhive, she accompanied him. One day, they found a piece of archaeotech. They have no idea what the fuck it did. They have no idea how valuable it was. All they know is, when they turned it into the funny mechanical man, the mechanical man's eyes got bug-eyed, and they dropped 100 thrones on the table for him. More money than Leroy had ever seen in his entire fucking life. And to an Underhiver, what do you think he would have done with this money? Would he have just smoked it, drank it, or ate it the fuck away?
Drank it and then gambled it. But the
Fine,
other side, a working CD player.
A working CD player.
Oh my god, it has the original Doom upon it. The sacred relic.
I like the one Ash got there. Don't blame me, you deviants.
Right. Extreme noses pounces on you. Ooh, you're so warm. Ooh, couldn't help but notice your bones from across the floor. Noses your Nicky like you tell baby till they hee hee.
Buddy, don't you worry.
Right. Extreme noses pounces on you. Ooh, you're so warm. Ooh, couldn't help but notice your bones from across the floor. Noses your Nicky like you tell baby till they hee hee.
You would like this.
Anyway, Leroy decided to basically
I'm not a
keep
fan of orange
none of
cream.
it
It's
for
the vanilla
himself.
that just
Oof.
He put it all into his sister's education. The little sister that his parents didn't give a shit about, his siblings couldn't be bothered to help with. He decided to gamble it on her. And it turned out well. She was going to become a corrosion. Hell, she was even on her way to tell Leroy that she'd been accepted into the Order of the Hospitala. The good life awaited his sister. She never got to tell him. As Leroy was heading towards the mag station to go meet with his sister, he overheard two enforcers that some gutter trash had found its way back into the gutter. Curious, Leroy looked. There he found his defiled, broken sister's body. He still won't describe what happened to it. The space I'm trying to be serious here, Ash.
the
Stop it.
Space King. You try to set up a full story, like sad story, of an origin story for a superhero, and we get Space King.
Space King. Leroy won't describe what happened to her body. All he says is it was desecrated. Even under questioning with of the Inquisition and Lord Commissar Sax, he won't describe it. What they do know what happened next was Leroy returned home, upset, and recovered Lucille, a 12-gauge pump-action shotgun. And he went a little angry. He got a little angry. He murdered 45. He killed 45 people. Angry. Started kicking in doors, looking for anybody involved, and just dumping the 12-gauge into everybody involved. 45 gangers. 8 amongst them were highborn children of noble houses. And you know how the nobles get when somebody starts offing their kid. A bounty went out. 5,000 thrones. When the gangers found out who killed all their fucking people, another bounty went out. 5,000 more thrones. Was that a nod to BB King's guitar?
What?
I have no idea what you mean, Ash.
I don't know either.
Maybe that's a British thing. I don't know.
Oh,
When he was performing his holy duck with the shotgun, Gork looks upon him and smiled.
Leroy killed a lot of fucking people. With a combined total of a 10,000 throne bounty on his head. What do you think happened next as Leroy's plotting his next move? Because he hadn't killed everybody involved yet. Well, he believed involved yet. He was going to dismantle everybody even remotely fucking involved. Punisher style, if you will. His sister comes to him, says, "I'm so sorry what happened to Arette," and then shot him in the gut.
Oh, yeah. That makes
Full
sense.
on,
She wants
with
money.
a stub revolver right to the gut. He had a guitar called Lucille. Well, it's referring to a different Lucille, Ash. If you ever seen the show The Walking Dead. The Bat, Lucille. If
Yeah.
you
Oh, that was your inspiration.
Yes, basically Negan going on a rampage with a baseball bat. Leroy fell through the shittily constructed wall, down several levels of the Underhive. But Leroy was a stubborn bastard, and he somehow missed all the giblets.
Decided not to die.
If I had to bet, actually it probably is. But what saved Leroy was not some inspirational tale of virtue, or some poor, humble priest looking down upon this poor, wretched fool. As even the priests were trying to kill Leroy and get that bounty. It was a new founding being called for the Imperial Guard. The call went out. The Galleons were to supply more regiments for the Imperium's war machine. So, he stumbled in through the founding barracks, got shotted, barely alive, holding a 12-gauge, and to the compliment of these professional soldiers, they didn't shoot this idiot child who had somehow wandered into their base with a shotgun. Kill the other one, someone who hates Leroy. Jesus fucking Christ! Ash, I love how I can just take your voice lines and put them into an evil Underhive character. It fits. But Leroy stumbled in, was picked up, and went, "Well, here, lad, have a drink." Is any of you know how the old British used to press gang soldiers? What do you think was in the drink?
Dregs.
The Emperor's throne.
It used to be a thing that the way that you swore to join the service is you kiss the coin that had the king's face.
Oh,
So
okay.
in order to press game people, they would drop a coin when they weren't looking in their drink.
And you would swallow it.
Drop it in there while you weren't paying it. Wow, okay.
You accepted the payment. You drank it. Thus you now in the Navy, boy.
You're in the army now.
Oh, you're in the army now.
Originally, Leroy went through basic training after getting his gut sewn up, which they subtracted his payment from, his first month's wages from. Because, believe it or not, even white shields get paid. It's not much, but they get paid. And thus, Leroy's first month of payment went right to his medical bills.
It is money.
They literally fished it out of his exposed guts and went, oh, there's the payment. Now fix it. Thus, after a basic training, some shenanigans, Leroy
I've heard they still do it, but with a ruble in Russia, because they run low on cannon fodder for Ukrainian front.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Not wrong.
I love this community. I love you all. You're all dark bastards. Kill the other one.
I just realized I realized how to pin it, so that's why I want to do that one.
Leroy then was conscripted out to the 755th Gallia Rifles
Oh shit!
as a
before
White
I
Shield
forget.
recruit at the ripe age of 16.
Oh, I'm just gonna throw in the chat real quick because like I talked all about it and then didn't do it.
You
Oh, the store.
Anybody who
You
wants our
silly
merch,
bastard.
exclamation point merch. There it is. There's the link. I completely forgot to do it in the beginning of the show. Oops.
It was there that the 755th was deployed to the desert world of Ciudad 4 to combat a mutant uprising, later discovered to be Gene Stealer cultists,
Oof.
where he actually distinguished himself surprisingly for an unblooded raw recruit when he charged a heavy weapons position without support because his disciplined fire team had basically went run for your fucking lives. Only one person followed him. A very upset tech priest. That these mutants would dare harm the sanctity of the machine. That tech priest's name was Tark-19. Thus began the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Hey,
Sometimes.
buddy!
Hey, buddy.
I think that's Buddy.
Ah,
Yeah,
buddy.
boy.
Quick high and by. Sleep schedule and shambles. I understand that, buddy. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, have a good one. Have a good night, buddy.
We'll
Peace
catch
move.
you all later. I feel bad. He streamed a couple times. I missed his streams. Oh, Magos, give Buddy a shout out. Do it.
Do it right now.
I'm so bad at that. I keep forgetting. I'm so sorry, everyone. All these people stop by and I forget to say hi and have people check them out. That chipmunk beanie is winning. Yeah, my mom thought the same thing. She likes that beanie.
I fucked it up.
You fucked it up. You forgot the space.
But back on topic. After a
Wait,
2-year...
He got it. It's working now. We got the clip
Shall we?
playing.
Play the
The
clip.
sound of dinging without any singing. Oh, I absolutely will helicopter. Hey, Mila, this is a helicopter. Also known as the fucking blender. You just got helicoptered. Helicopter man
blender!
away!
So we start calling Buddy Scrap.
Buddy is spare scrap. Activate the blender mode. But we have Bow in
I
here,
meant
though.
to Yuki. I will. Don't worry, buddy. I will.
Send it to Yuki.
Anyways, back to Bob.
After the 2-year-long campaign to eliminate Ciudad 4 from the clutches of the foul mutant abominations, he was elevated from White Shield to True Guardsman upon his 18th birthday. Yes, Leroy was a child soldier. Yes, this happens a lot in the Imperial Guard. No,
No, they don't
feel bad
care.
for- No, they don't care. And secondly, don't feel bad for Leroy. He was actually amongst people who actually gave a shit about him for the first time in his life. It was a good time.
Is that also when he started calling Tark asshole?
Yes, because Tark, every time Leroy would get any kind of minor injury, most medics, here, have a Motrin. Here, Fred, are you injured? Here, Fred, have a little bit of painkiller. Tark, I hold your breath. What? Auto stitches it up without anesthetic. Krieg.
Pain is weakness leaving the body. Yeah, what was your guardsman regiment? That's what we gotta figure out.
The original guardsman, raised regiment he was a part of, was the 755th Gallia. After he was raised up as a full guardsman, after the 755th was absorbed into the 387th Gravedigger Regiment, as in the big boys now.
Gravedigger, you and the pros now, boy.
Where are all the tangents? You've been off topic all through so far. What happened to you? This is a very long episode.
What happened to you?
After the 755th had suffered in the process of taking Trinidad 4, 56% combat losses, as in dead, and a further 35%
Right. Extreme noses pounces on you. Ooh, you're so warm. Couldn't help but notice your boats from across the floor. Noses your Nicky Wakey till day Matilda hee hee.
It is.
Right. Extreme noses pounces on you. Ooh, you're so warm. Couldn't help but notice your boats from across the floor. Noses your Nicky Wakey till day Matilda hee hee.
For context, gentlemen, the math equals up to 91% casualties in a 2-year campaign for a new regiment. Because Jinx 91% casualty rate.
Well, damn.
56 which died, and the other 35 were rendered critically injured and not able to fully operate immediately. Leroy, surprisingly, was left mostly unscathed in this campaign.
Because of one person named Tark.
No, as in he didn't get injured. This would be one of the few campaigns Leroy actually never caught a bullet in. This would not last long. His next assignment with the mighty Gravedigger regiments of his home world, he was assigned to the high world of Chor's Rest, the infamous cesspit of unstable vagrants, where after barely a week on world, it all devolved into multiple major secessionist uprisings planet-wide, as in a full Krieg had happened. And after 4 years of just shooting these moronic secessionists who don't know the right end to hold the last gun if it bit them in the ass, the 387th was forced off world. And this is where Leroy grew to hate a group of secessionists who I will mention in a later episode because I don't want to spoil anything about these wannabe fucking Romans that play off being Ultramarines in red. Chor's Rest would ultimately be retaken an entire year after, only by the direct intervention of chapter deployment of the Absolvers, as in a full chapter deployment. 1,000 Marines came in and kicked teeth down throats.
I just think usually 4 can turn a war.
Well, when you have a secessionist empire supporting your uprising, you tend to need to prove a fucking point very quickly. This defeat, though, would sour Leroy's humors about people. He started growing more. The second you showed any kind of weakness or heresy, he started almost wanting to act like a commissar and I quote, blam.
So I started
Plus,
blasting.
already 6 years in the Guard, with only a victory and a defeat, so a pretty even record. Private Jenkins and the 387th would be sent to reclaim a world from the cowardly hands who also had turned their back upon the Holy Golden Throne. A world that would place Leroy where he would draw the eye of one Commissar Albert Sachs and his newly formed task force, the Force World of Tantivus Gamma, or as the men of Gallia would come to refer to it, as the world of the Weeping Woods. The 387th was sent to support another Gallian type of regiment, known as the Inua Dawnbloods. They were hive-born pansies, if you will. You know, oh yes, I could take these secessionist dogs. And 3 regiments of these morons had managed to get pushed all the way back by the time the Gallians had arrived. They were in total retreat. All was looking bad. It quickly became clear to the Gravediggers and its command structure that to reverse the tide of this campaign, they would have to retake a strategic high ground to mount their artillery and start blasting into anything that fucking moved on this forest world. That position was Mount Bolea, codenamed Mount 1 or Hill 142. And it was here the true nature of this vile heretics would be revealed.
Really, Bob? Really?
1.5 slime marbos.
Or what, if we had an extra slime marble, we would have used it.
So the power of the entire chapter of Astartes. Thousands superhumans clad in the best armor, wielding the most destructive weapons the mankind could create. It's like 1.5 slime marbo. And then I gotta ask, you locked eyes with Albert Sachs?
Sax, spelled A-S or S-A-X-E. As in
And saxophone.
like saxophone. That.
And also,
I
Bob,
didn't realize.
really? 142? Right? Hill 131?
Would you believe if I told you I used a random number generator and that's what spat out at me? It was
you
only
might as well just said Hill 131.
And it was much later I came to realize what that hill number was. Like, it was a week after I went, wait a minute, 142, isn't that the hill in Bellow fucking... Oh my god! Son of a bitch! But, as I was saying, the cowardly wretches had been taking the wounded and anybody that had captured, further injuring them so they could not leave, and then booby-trapping the bodies. So any attack against their fortified positions would be slowed down by the wounded crying out for aid, and traps made to punish any man who would dare even look to render aid to these wounded men. As you can guess, this was terrible for morale. Like, fucking terrible. It's hard to do your job when you're just charging something. It's another thing when you hear a bunch of your buddies screaming, help! Thus, the Commissar was forced to take direct command.
Well, I mean, you guys weren't Kriegers, so...
Yeah, no, these guys actually have the will to live.
They actually wanted to live, huh? That sounds like a personal problem.
It is. It took the Commissar to assume direct command of the assault to ensure discipline was maintained. Sax, as in saxophone, led a strike team to break the perimeter along with a company strength diversionary attack. Unfortunately, the Commissar's team was repelled and suffered heavy losses, even losing track of both his Ogren bodyguard and a newly sanctioned Psyker, both of which somehow ended up behind enemy lines, only to stumble into, several hours later, the enemy being ambushed by what appeared to be a heavily injured guardsman and a very upset tech priest. After putting down the traitor patrol and linking up, they made inductions. It was here that both Privates Stone, the big Ogren, and
How big is Stone, by the way?
9 foot tall.
Stone's
is a
about
big
the size of a space marine.
He has to literally crouch to walk into a chimera. Zane and the Psyker known as Zane, Zariel Zane, would meet Tark 19 and Private Leroy. Together, they had managed to find a ammo depot right in the middle of the line. And what do you think these four people that had maybe 9 brain cells amongst them, what do you think they decided to do?
Eat it.
I'm gonna start blasting.
I'ma start blasting indeed. With a chuck of grenades, which somehow managed to land into a artillery ammo position, One big boom later, the attack was back on. Now with the enemy completely scrambled around going, what the fuck is happening? What appears to be a guardsman with enough holes in him to appear to be Swiss cheese, charging down and screaming something while with his shotgun with a bayonet on it. You would be sauerkrauted too.
Boom tank.
Earning this
Is that a
act-
bayonet or is that a fucking sword?
Yes. They had managed to break the line open completely, which allowed the regiment within the next few months to actually push up and take the hill. This action would see all four of them earn the Steel Aquila. And the eyes of the commissar now are upon this group of unsurprisingly, in no way should have worked, heroes. And Leroy in particular. For he was so shot through that the Medicaid believed his survival was the work of the Emperor. The Commissar believed it was the work of the Psyker instead. For Zane was was what one would call a biomancer. After another week of hard fighting, the hill was secured and the Guard began a major counter-strike campaign. And it was here Leroy and Tark were made part of the Commissar's retinue, and began a relationship and a friendship with both the Bulgrin and the Psyker. Leroy was stuck in recovery for 6 months, that's how injured he was. But he was not idle. It was here he learned numerous skills that normally weren't taught to just the rank and file. Like, and not limited to, the tank gunnery of most Lehman Russ variants, driving said variants, forward observance, as in artillery calling, box operation, and cooking. Leroy liked cooking. And he still swears by the Chili Mac, the blessed of all MREs. And after 6 months, the 387th, alongside 4 additional regiments of Dawnbloods, they managed to take the world back and put down the traitors. And after 2 months of rest and rearmament, the orders came down. The Gravediggers would finally be able to put their skills that they were famous for to the test.
Gods in the row.
Yeah, I was just reading it.
What I missed.
Biomancers, pyromancers, chronomancers. How do you call a chaos psyker who praises Slanesh? A boobomancer.
Oh, Cicero.
All right, well, there we go.
Oh, we appreciate you, buddy.
Alan learned how to pin. I'm so proud.
It took a
Knowing
month.
how to pin. It was double time. Bob always beat me to it.
The Guard was to go basically for a hold your ground at all costs operation.
Right.
Oh, hang on, Bob.
Extreme noses punches on you. Ooh, you're so warm. Ooh, couldn't help but notice your bones from across the floor. Noses your Nicky Wakey till they were till they hee
Gets to it.
Right.
There you go.
Extreme noses punches on you. Ooh, you're so warm. Ooh, couldn't help but notice your bones from across the floor. Noses your Nicky Wakey till they hee.
As I was saying,
I love how I don't hear the second one. I only hear the first one because I have it set so like I don't hear my own sound effects go off. But so when I play the second one, all I hear is Bob go. Oh, it's so good.
the Gravediggers would be sent to reinforce a Adepta Sororitas convent under attack by foul green-skinned menace. The word of Pyros Hope would both be the site of the regiment's finest hours and the place where Leroy would change forever. And just because I want to, each one of these little sections has had a title. Like the first one was The Blood of Jenkins, then In the Guard, and now finally to section 5 of the script. Horseshoes, hand grenades, and head trauma. The landing on Pyros' Hope went as well as anybody could hope for, or prayed for even, in both a contested void and a world under Orkoid siege. The only losses suffered was the orbital assault ships' void capacity, as in it was no longer void intact, as in it would not survive a re-entry, an orbital leaving. Meaning, they were fucking stuck.
You ain't going
Time to
home,
dig a
boy.
hill. It's time to dig deep, boys, and fill the grave with the enemy. The regiment managed to interact in deploying around the sisters' fortress of Martira. Yes, I am original. Thank you.
A little better than
Okay,
GW,
well, hey,
I'll
your
give you
name was
that.
good. Your name was good as GW.
A little better, I think.
The hope was for both the sisters, the Holy Sisters, and the 387th to hold out until the Guard could muster enough forces to drive the orcs from the heavens and then break the siege. AKA, they were hoping to pull the same strategy that had won them the Second War for Armageddon. Dig in, hold out, and wait for the rest of the army to come and bail you out. Though this time it was not the mighty defenders of Armageddon. It was a single Gallian regiment and an entire a chapter house of Holy Sisters. Mind you,
Yeah, it is a frontal force.
it is not a insurmountable force. And when you're just simply trying to protect the one position instead of several hive cities,
You got actually, by the way.
actually,
Yeah,
Did you?
by Cicero.
Oh,
what did
yeah.
I say?
Order. It's an order of sororitas, not a chapter.
Wow, I did get over actually.
He got you! Tell us more about the mighty armies of Armageddon for context.
Raise the black banners of vengeance. That's all I will say.
Actually.
Actually. I mean, I could really go actually and talk about the complete details of the sororitas, but I won't. We have a schedule to keep. And for the first time in his entire career, Leroy wasn't amongst those who were hunkering down in sections of trench line and getting ready to repel those who would attack it. He was walking it with the commissar, with the other officers, trying to figure out how they were going to pull this victory out of what it was increasingly looking like the jaws of certain death. When the orcs came, they came like they struck a tidal wave upon the rocks. And for the first time in his life, Leroy didn't feel so small. Leroy was this little hive-born kid that had no business being rubbing elbows with these hive-born people. And when he was with the commissar and Stone, he felt like he was amongst people that actually saw him as equals. And this felt good to what used to be called a gutter rat. So much to the point where he taught Stone how to fight, fist fight like an underhiver, as in bare knuckle boxing. This detail is important for later, ladies and gentlemen.
Taught an ogre how to box.
Bare knuckle box, yes.
Oh, fuck.
For context, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, an ogre in most times in a fist fight will simply swing its meat hams to clobber something into submission. Now imagine what that kind of damage is when it straight punches and throws elbows.
And bites off ears.
Like Mike Tyson.
Problem is, though, Stone wouldn't be able to reach your ear. He had to pick you up and then bite.
It'd be the whole head.
Nah. It was here that the commissar and what the dominant, God damn it, I hate sororitas ranks. I always fuck up how they spell it. Falling in with a strike group led a group of dominions led by Palatine Syria Keel. Wherever the line began to buckle or fail against the orc strikes, the holy veterans of the sororitas and the commissar's own team would fall upon it to unbreak the line, as an immobile reserve. Oh, the orcs look like they're going to break into a line. angry bolter bitches with heavy weapons suddenly, and then a very upset Ogren, Commissar, Psyker, and Guardsman appeared, along with a techno crackhead. And this strategy actually worked incredibly well. As well as it could, however. This would not win them the battle. This would not even give them time. This whole counterattack operation only was there for the hope to catch the war boss in the open and remove the head from the snake. In the hopes of, once he was dead, the orcs would start killing each other and they could all sit back and roast carbonuts. Mike Tyke Mason needs to be an NPC.
Needs to be an NPC.
I'll make it happen.
Oh, we gotta make a Mike Tyson NPC now?
Make it happen.
Oh, God. I'll figure something out.
Make it some
Alan,
dialogues.
activate the AI.
All right.
You know what? I have an idea. That gives me an idea now. Okay, I'm gonna run something by you, Alan. We'll make something work. I have a hell of an idea now for an NPC on the upcoming Inquisitor Rejects.
Oh, dear God. I'm scared.
Thank you, Ash. A rageful Ogren. I'm going to one up that.
And thus so went the next 6 long months. Slowly, the orcs bled themselves upon the blades of the Emperor's faithful. But even with the massive stockpiles of munitions that the sisters are famous for, and that stockpile added on to an assault ship's worth of regimental supplies, it was depleting faster than they could kill the orc horde. This fact, and with the growing ferocity of the orcs, left them with one choice: kill the boss, shatter the orcs. If they couldn't pull it off, they were fucked. So, when the next massive orc attack was spotted, the Canoness herself led a team to remove its head, along with Commissar Sax, as in the saxophone, and his retinue. The spearhead operation almost went right to plan. Get in, kill the war boss, get the hell out. The Greenskins watch the Greenskins fall upon each other as a group of angry geese.
Angry murder chickens?
Angry cobra chickens, yes.
It
all started. Look at my phone.
Oh, Kyle, look at this. Look at your phone.
1 second.
Everything started to go point shaped when they realized the damn orcs had gathered every other orc capable of leading into one massive fucking group.
So they were copying your guys' tactic.
They had hoped to break the Imperial line by leading their own little band of warlords.
Mike Tyson with half the power armor.
Okay, Alan, you're gonna have to share that with me. See, I gotta see
that
this
was funny. That was funny to watch. To look at.
I'm putting it in general for everybody.
That was funny. Alan just made the AI Mike Tyson like Space Marine thing, and it's pretty good.
We hate AI art, but it does some work sometimes. The general, I wish to see. Oh dear God!
Everybody wants to see what I cooked up in 2 seconds.
As I was saying, even though the plan did kind of go right to plan, with the orc warlord becoming integrated with the sharp end of the Canoness's power sword, the orcs evolved into madness that almost claimed the lives of all involved. Sister Keel's life was only saved when Leroy managed to intercept a knob with a massive maul, only to take the strike on the brim of his helmet, smashing the guardsman aside only for the orc to suffer acute bolt poisoning when she looked to see if Leroy would rise like he'd done from every other injury the sister and everybody else had seen. He laid still. He saw the young Galian still in the small cove he had landed, with peak foam leaking from his lips. Thus, both Sax's tech priest, as in saxophone, and her own sister Hospitaller attempting to save his life. Sadly, the strike team was forced to fall back, leaving them behind when the orcs' counterattack pushed them out. Thus, it was believed that both Leroy, a holy sister of the Hospitaller, and Tark had perished. Nobody knew where Stone went, which is odd because you'd think you'd be able to keep sight on a 9-foot-tall Ogren. Pissed off Bolgren, I should say.
Maybe he got hungry.
Maybe he got hungry. Maybe it was Maybelline.
Maybe it was some tofu burgers.
Oh, maybe he wanted to. Maybe he wanted to try to see. Maybe he really wanted to see if eating orcs is vegan.
Yeah, there you go.
We don't talk about that.
Did you
Thus-
see acute bolt poisoning? And it says a bonk.
Yes, Leroy got bonked with a maul that probably weighed the same as him.
Yes, acute bolt poisoning.
Yeah, I heard the
As
same
in-
thing. Bolt poisoning, yep.
Thus, the orc army was broken. And for the next 6 hours, they had fought back to reclaim the position and with the minuscule hope of recovering their bodies. It was there, as to quote the sisters, they witnessed a holy sight. The ogre named Stone had killed every bloody orc knob, war boss, mega knob, anything that had approached his cubby, where he was able to just back himself up and straight punch the shit out of things. To quote one of the holy sisters, it was as if witnessing a pugilist beat upon a child, as Stone had grabbed a knob and started punching it till its head had squeezed in on itself. The Organ could only... a few words could be made out of what the Organ was screaming this entire time. Protect the little ones. And it was then they noticed the bull shield. And behind it, still breathing, still alive, was the sister of the Hospitaller, Tark 19, and somehow Leroy. A miracle, a holy sight, the sisters proclaimed. While they were all chanting worships to the Emperor, the other Hospitallers quickly rushed forward, recognizing what it really was. A poor man barely surviving a critical brain injury after getting his head smashed in. Now was not the time for prayers. Now was the time for morphine. Thus, Leroy would spend the next month and a half unconscious, under the gentle care of the Order of the Hospitaller. In critical condition, recovering from what can only be described by the Trojans, the Holy Sisters, and Tark as a catastrophic brain injury unlike seen since the heresy. And surprisingly, Leroy did recover, but it was not without cost. Before, Leroy might have been a bit of a loud but well-spoken, wisecracking gentleman, and a guy easy to get along with. Always laughing, always able to rise to spirits. In his place was an impulsive, foul-mouthed, ill-speaking soldier that now lacked the ability to read a room and know when to shut the fuck up. No
Perfect.
impulse control, lacking a filter. His memory intact and his combat skills unimpaired, he was deemed fit to serve. And by the time Leroy was back on his feet and able to actually walk in a straight line, the relief fleet had arrived and drove the Greenskins from the heavens. The operation was a success, and all that was left was purging the last of the Greenskins from the surface. This task done, the Galleons rested on their laurels. They had pulled off the impossible. They weren't expected to win this fight. They were expected to lay down and kill as many Greenskins as they could. As the famous line of the Galleons is, Dig your grave, dig it deep. And when the Emperor calls, fill it with the enemy. But this rest period would not last for long. Because soon the regiment's greatest task would come upon it. Some moron inquisitor had thought it was a good idea to pit Tyranids against greenskins, and things were getting out of hand. Thus, the 387th and dozens of other regiments from hundreds of worlds would be sent off to fight in the Arcturus campaign. And surprisingly enough, the Commissar now witnessing twice what cross-training between people from different origins could bring out. Sex began the idea of forming his own specialized unit. One that would just take from others and combine those skills into a unit that, in theory, would be able to break any line, slay any foe. The unit would eventually be known by the unit of Night Haunt. I won't say the Latin motto, but I will say it in the common tongue. The last nightmare you never awaken from. Their symbol? A foul demon being dragged into an open grave by the skeletal hand of the Emperor, bearing his holy Aquila. And that's where I'm going to stop, because the next section is another 3,000 words, and I don't think anybody wants to be here till fucking midnight or 1 in the morning.
So that is where we will stop episode 1 of the Leroy Saga.
But I will
Greenleaf
knock
is
off-
here.
Hi, Greenleaf.
I didn't miss you come in. Thought I could go a
And-
summer without these nerds? Nah, we're your favorite.
Right. Extreme
Oh,
noses
God.
punches on you.
You
Ooh,
got
you're so warm. Couldn't help but notice your boys from across the floor. Noses your Nicky Wakito Babe Matilda hee hee. Right. Extreme noses punches on you. Ooh, you're so warm. Couldn't help but notice your boys from across the
Says
floor.
Sissy pushes on my
Noses your
head.
Nicky Wakito Babe Matilda hee hee.
But as a consolation for the next 15 minutes, I will read off to you the stupid rules me and Alan came up for Leroy's Rules of War. Are you ready, Kyle?
And here I am, it's 3 in the morning. Don't underestimate me.
I don't doubt your power, Cicero, but I cannot allow you to do this to yourself. Thus, the rules of war. Are you ready, Kyle?
All right, let's hear it. What do you got?
Some of these are probably funny. Some of them are going to make you just cringe.
Wonderful. Sounds normal.
Rule 1. Doc is love. Doc is life. Unless it's Tark, then Doc is asshole. Number 2. Shoot for center mass. Headshots are for show-offs and assassins. Rule number 3. A well-fed Ogryn is a well-behaved Ogryn. Keep this in mind, Stone. Number 4. Explosives are cheap. Trained guardsmen or not, no matter what the fucking butter bars say. Number 5. 1 accurate shot is worth 10 that are not. Aim, then fire. Morons. Number 6. Fear is acceptable. Cowardice is not. 7. The helmet is equal parts bucket, headpiece, and blunt force object. Keep the fucking thing on. It will save your life. Trust me. Number 8. No matter the amount of ammo command says you need, make sure you grab double. Number 9. The famous grave digger regiment saying, dig your grave, then fill it with the enemy. Number 10. Have a knife at all times, whether to cut a loaf or cut a throat. Number 11. If it got pointy ears and pointy armor, dump the pack. And the reloaded, dump the pack again. Number 12. Bayonets are cheap. Keep a spare. Number 13. As I said, all these were made when Alan and me were basically crackheads just burning time at work. When in
So
doubt,
instead of working, you create all these rules.
yes.
Yes.
This is- because we had nothing to do. We'd already sorted all the tires. We'd sorted the driveway. We weren't going to do stupid shit. We actually behaved ourselves and actually just came up with some laughs. Number 13. When in doubt, frag the problem. Number 14. Friendly fire isn't. No is shooting.
Wait,
I won't
question.
know-
You know models better than me, but the Helldrake's flying stand is ended up with with a ball joint, and the Helldrake has huge X-shaped hole in its chest. The Brits, yeah. Like, what am I missing here? The Helldrake, isn't that one of the Chaos models, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I'm not going to use numbers anymore. I'm just going to speed roll it. The goal isn't to die for the Emperor, it's to make the other dumb pricks die for their bastards. No promotion is worth the lives of those beneath you. Think before you act. If the plan is going perfect, it's a trap. Cue Admiral Akbar. Have a plan, then make a backup for the plan for when the first one goes tits up. The Emperor perfects, but don't make it hard.
Don't make
They
it
make-
hard.
They make a long gun for any and all ranges. Pistols are for one. There is no good way to clear a stairwell unless it involves air support.
I need to check on that.
Air support. Damn.
If one must make the squad presentable, you need a minimum of 12 hours. 2 for each member of the regular squad, 10 for the Ogryn. When punishing ratlings, make sure to shake, not stir.
What?
James Bond joke. You shake the ratling,
I shake the rattling baby.
Yes.
Oh, that's from War Hands. Yeah, I shake the rattling baby.
Last
I gotta
fire
watch it
works
again.
both. Last fire works both ways. When you gotta dig deep. No armor is impenetrable, only resistant. Every fortress has a servant entrance. When crossing ice, and underlined an exclamation point, Kyle. Don't.
Don't.
Cleanliness is next to holiness in a trench. Wash your armpits, Smitty. Any rash can be made into a good gumbo with enough effort. Beware the pointy-hatted officers. It's never a good thing when they start poking the nose into places. Even penal battalions can be punished too harshly.
You gotta
Remember
tell
the
that story.
I will in a moment. Scavenge what you can when you can, because you're one misfiled report from being forgotten. The story behind the even penal troops can be punished too severely, Kyle, is Leroy at one point was put in charge of a group of officers, or I shouldn't say officers, a group of troopers that were penaled, as in they had fucked up and were now on penal duty. Leroy made gumbo, right?
Yeah, you
following
said
me?
he knows how to cook, though, right?
Yep. He didn't use water in the gumbo. He used liquid laxative,
Ew.
and he gave it all to Stone.
The entire pot.
Even
The
bigger
entire-
ew.
He then locked these 9 troopers in that mess hall and told them they had to clean it before he let it out.
With an Ogren
Stone-
with
Well,
laxatives.
the stone was still in there.
Oh, God.
You wanna know why Leroy got in trouble for this one, Kyle?
That's bad.
Because Commissar Sax, as in a saxophone, went in and asked Leroy, what the fuck are he doing with his penal troopers? And he opened the door and he screamed, don't let it shut because you won't get, and it shut behind the commissar, who's now stuck in a mess hall with an ogre who can't control his asshole.
That's wonderful.
The quote, Commissar Sax, if you ever do that again, I don't care how useful you are, I will throw you at a demon.
Thank you for the sub, Mama Bear. There's the video.
Didn't they summon a unclean one for that? No, even they were disgusted with that. Even a demon went, no.
What the fuck? No.
Absolutely not.
Everybody loves the new subscribers as a follower thing alert.
I will say the rule for this one simply because the joke about it is Rule 34, all hail the chili mac. Yes, I know about the other one. Shut the fuck up about it. Rule 35. Know where rattlers stash their shit so you can steal it from the thieves. A good officer leads by example. Trust no officer whose career started with the words commissioned. Keep calm. Bad things will happen if you don't. And always know where your supplies come from. It will help you in the bad times. And finally, as the last rule for this section of the night, rule number 40. If you can't have void supremacy, have air supremacy. If you can't have air supremacy, have tank supremacy. If you can't have tank supremacy, have fire supremacy. If you can't have any of the above, you're just fucked.
Now, you say rules for this section?
Yes, because that's rule 40 of 116.
Jesus Christ! You
Yeah,
guys, do
me-
you guys
Yeah.
work at work?
We literally came up with funny stories around all of these. Every one of these has a story attached.
Yes.
Wow.
Listen,
we went bored and we went
we got-
ham.
we went a little autistic, if you will.
Just
We wisdom with the tism.
wisdom with the tism. Okay.
And I will-
way too much time on your hands.
Thank you, Bao.
I will name a few other rules that I just think are hilarious. My favorite one being one of my favorites being number 63, never gamble on the vent. Fucking don't overcharge. God help me, Vol, if you do it again. In regards to Melta weapons. Or not Melta, plasma
Plasma.
weapons. Melta is ADATS, Kyle. Do you want to know what ADATS stands for?
Sure. Give it to me.
Anti-DAT shit.
Yeah.
What is that shit? Take your finger, point at something, dat shit there. The commissar is also always right, no matter how batshit the idea is. Let's see, what's another few good ones? Oh, another favorite one that's a little funny to Ash. When Leroy speaks of pounds, he's not talking about that Praetorian funny money. And finally, I will end it off with this. No more rules. Rule 75. If a sister of battle asks you another round, the answer is always and will ever be, no matter the circumstance, yes. Also, never listen to the traders in purple and pink. They will not love you long time, but they might sucky you for $5.
That's a rule, huh?
And in parentheses, the quote sacks, and get you shot, Corporal.
Sounds about right.
Well, yes, that's the first part of Leroy. Next, we will speak of the last. Let's see, that would be 8 years. So the next 14 years of his career in the Arcturus campaign. You know, fun times, where the Inquisition ruined everything. Again.
I'll say like normal.
They do their best, guys.
They don't.
If anybody would sit here and like try to like say the Inquisitions is okay, it'd be Penguin Lad Nick over there.
He's not here today, so ha!
Cicero, I'm adding that right now to the list. I don't know why, but it works.
It will go. If it's red and orc made, it will go faster.
It will go faster.
Rule 117, your pretty mouths are going to get kissed. Leroy while hammered drunk off dead men's brew. Adding to the list.
Oh, but we're gonna call it here, guys.
I thought we would, because I don't think it's good to talk about anything involving Arcturus.
Well, yeah, let's not get into another big section. I think we already know this is gonna be 2 parts, possibly 3. So I think this is a good stop point.
I think, having gotten what it is, I'm thinking I can probably keep this now to 2.
Okay, well, then we'll get one more going, and then hopefully we can get back to the Crystal Rejects, and you guys will see Leroy in action after all this saga. So hopefully end up into that part, I'm assuming. If storytelling and that goes the way how I think it's going to go.
Here's hoping.
Okay, let's see here.
Another game we should all play together one day. GTFO.
Get the fuck out.
Well, we have to do... Bob wanted to
have many
do the Chain Together one, and then we got Space Marine 2 come
Right.
out. We want to go back to
Extreme noses
Helldivers
punches on you,
again.
ooh, you're so warm. Couldn't help but notice your boats from across the floor. Noses your Nicky Wakito,
Oh,
baby,
when
till
we
they
do
hee
Chain
hee.
Together, we have to stream that. And drag
Right.
Nick Long.
Extreme noses punches on you, ooh, you're so warm. Couldn't help but notice your boats from across the floor. Noses your Nicky Wakito, baby, till they hee hee.
Anyway, as you're saying.
And if possible, we need to drag Yuki into this as well.
Oh, you're the one calling for Yuki, Mr. Uwus?
Listen, I think it'd be funny as shit to aggravate the shit out of everybody by one of us fault missing an easy jump. And you can't deny it'd be funny as shit.
Fair.
Yeah, possibly.
I think we all remember the shenanigans of Pinku Park.
Oh, we've been called also for, what was it? Oh, God, I don't even want to mention it. The Outlast Trials. That's another one that's supposedly on the list.
What the hell is that, Hash?
Gartic phone?
Gartic Phone is it's like a app game you play where we draw stuff. It's like animation stuff and animating and drawing. So everybody can see how bad we draw.
No. Nobody needs to see my shame.
No one needs to see my shame either. I'm a mechanic, not a not an artist.
Awesomely good fun. All right,
Does
so
sound like awesomely good fun.
we're gonna raid somebody. Who do we want to raid?
Anybody on?
Not really. None of our normal part of our group. I got one doing Warhammer painting. We can go there.
Do that one then.
Do it.
All right. Oh, of course. I throw you guys to raid somebody and they're not currently right there. It's on a be right back screen.
Of course.
Well, anyways, this has been what the Art of Lore show.
The
Art of
man,
Uwu.
myth, the legend,
The Art of
the
Uwu.
meme.
Hot tub. Roll the dice. You don't care if
You
you
have
can
to roll
roll.
the
See what I
dice.
get. 18. No luck on that one.
Soon, though, soon.
We are being exterminatus.
I
feel
declare
like-
exterminatus.
The raid? No, still going. But alright, guys. I hope you all have a good one. This has been the Art of Lore, Art of Uwu show. This is Leroy. We are
I
going to
hope you
continue
enjoyed.
Leroy's adventures later on in the next episode. And hopefully we'll get back into the Inquisitorial Rejects so you can see them in action. And, check out our merch store. We actually have merch now. I'll put a thing in the Discord, a link in the Discord, and the general, we'll pin it and stuff, so you guys go there. If there's something you want, something you like, hey, I want this but in a shirt, just let me know on the Discord, and I can make it. I'll make it happen. But, till then, I hope you all have a good night, and we'll see you in the next video stream thing.
Good night, everybody.
Peace. Did you have fun finding